Walk by Pantera is one of the most legendary metal guitar tracks ever written, and while the riffs in this track may look pretty simple on paper, they do require a little bit of nuance if you want to get them sounding exactly like Dimebag Darrell. By the end of this video, you'll have every riff down and you'll be able to jam through the entire track. We are going to be tuned a whole step down to D standard tuning, but keep in mind if you want to play along with the record, you're going to have to tune down a quarter step from there. Easiest way to do that is to set your tuner to 425 Hz instead of 440. We're going to kick things off with the intro riff. It'll sound like this. We're going to start off hitting that low E string. Make sure you're muting in between the sections of these riffs. Then we're going to hit 0, 1, 0, also on the E string. When you hit that first fret, you're going to bend it down pretty quick and then back to neutral position. When you do that bend, it does say a half step there, but it's not quite a half step. It's almost a pre-bend, so you mostly hear it coming back down to neutral position. That main motif repeats a lot throughout the song, so make sure you get that down. You'll notice here in each measure, you're going to do that 0, 1, 0 2 times, and the first 0 you're only going to do at that first measure. For the rest of them, you're going to skip beat 1 and just do the 0, 1, 0. And then the fourth measure at the end of the riff, we're going to do this fun little slide technique. You're just going to grab around the second fret, slide all the way up to around 16. It doesn't really matter where you're sliding to. He changes it a little bit throughout the song. It's just kind of random. You slide up there, come back down the fretboard, and then slide up just a little bit higher. Then you just slide back down the fretboard towards the headstock. It's more of just a cool sound, not really any specific notes going on there. Next, we're going to get into our main riff, which is also the chorus riff. It'll sound like this. For the main riff here, it's going to start the same as the intro. That 0, 1, 0 motif is going to come back a lot throughout the song, but instead of doing it twice per measure, in the second half of the measure, we're just going to hit a palm muted open E string, followed by a 3rd fret power chord on the A string. In the second measure, you're just going to do the same thing, but hit a 1st fret power chord on the A string. And then for the third measure, you're just going to hit an inverted power chord, 1st fret on the A and D strings. And then for the fourth measure, we're going to change things up a little bit. We're going to start out with 3 palm muted open E strings. And then we're just going to move through a series of power chords with a palm muted open E string in between. Just going to be 1, 3, 4, 3, 1. Make sure you're picking up your palm mute in between to let those power chords ring out. Next up, we have our verse riff, which is very similar to the intro riff. The only difference is instead of that slide at the end, we're going to replace it with this. All you have to do there is hit palm muted open E string, followed by 1st fret on the A and D. Do that twice. Next up, we have our pre-chorus riff. This one's pretty straightforward. We're going to start out with an open D chord. So you can have 2nd fret on the G, 3rd fret on the B string. You're also going to hit the A and D strings along with it. You're going to let that chord ring out for a whole measure, and then we're just going to have a 1st fret power chord on the A string, followed by a 2nd fret power chord on the A string. Then we just throw in 2 more measures of that main motif that keeps coming back. And after you do that whole pre-chorus riff 2 times, we add in this extra ending. Starts on that open D chord again. Then we have a whole measure of that 1st fret power chord, a whole measure of that 3rd fret on the E string power chord, and then 2nd fret to 1st fret power chord. Then we just have one more riff that comes in at the end of the song. This is our outro riff that's just going to fade out, and it sounds like this. For this last riff, we're just going to start out with 3 palm muted open E strings. Then we're going to grab this little tritone here. It's 1st fret on the E string, 2nd fret on the A string. I like to give it a bit of vibrato. It sounds pretty dissonant. And then you just lift up your index finger to hit that open E string power chord. And it just does that over and over again as the song fades out. That's every riff you'll need to play through the entirety of the song. Let me know in the comments if you guys have any questions and what songs you want me to go over next. And if you want to support the channel, you can check out my Patreon linked in the description below. Over there, you can download the exact guitar tones that I used in this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great one.